All right, yep, we've got two incredible deals to show you guys tonight. The first one is going to be presented by Greg. Got the clicker. Tom? All right. And Greg is going to teach us how he raised a nice profit from the ashes of a burned out house. So take it away, Greg.
All right. How does this thing work? Back and forth? So a tenant, I'm a property manager. A tenant of mine said, hey, there's a burned out house down the road. I said, okay. He said, well, you might be interested. I said, yeah, I don't think so. So a couple months went by and I saw this house, nothing happening with it. So picture's not very good here. But the fire started in the garage, went through the attic, came out the top of the house, just completely smoke damage, everything. The tenants, was a rental property, turns out. The landlord took the insurance money, used it for other purposes, then didn't have any way to fix up the property. So he was very motivated to get rid of the property. So I finally called him. He said he really wanted to get, when they say really 3 times, you kind of get the indication that they want to get rid of the property. Son? So so I worked out a deal with him. He said, I will sell you the property for $1,000. I said, what? $1,000? I couldn't believe it. I said, what's wrong with the property? He said, well, you see the property, it's burned out. Come to find out what was really going on was he was getting code violations. So he had no way to fix the house. He had other properties. If you get code violations, it goes anything that you own in that county, unless you've got them in land trust. So he said, I got to get rid of this property because I had 2 or 3 code violations. They were each accruing $250 per day per violation, so $1,000 a day. And so he had to get rid of the property. So I quickly called up the code enforcement officer, said, if I buy this, will you give me some leeway? He said he'd give me a couple months to do it. So I purchased the property for $1,000. Now, I forgot to tell you, I purchased it in my Roth IRA because I didn't want to pay any tax on it. It was a 422, 1,736 square feet. I ended up selling the property for $28,136. I actually had Mark come out and give me a quote on it. So I was intending on fixing it myself, but once I get looking at the cost, the time frame, everything else that was going to go into the property, I decided to try and flip it. So New Beginnings, Anthony and Jack at New Beginnings helped me flip the property. And like I said, I ended up getting $20,136. Picture of the garage, again, dark, but when we got the house full of all the carpet, everything that beds, the kitchen cabinets were still stocked with food. It's like the tenants just got up and moved out because everything was so smoke damaged they couldn't salvage anything. So we ended up bringing a dumpster in, and I got a couple guys, and they basically just hauled stuff to the dumpsters and dumped it in. So by the time we were finished, that's what it looked like. And we were planning on doing the rehab, but once we got an idea of the after repaired value, we looked at it and looked at how much we would make, and then looked at how much we could make flipping the house, and we said, let's go ahead and flip it. So that's what we ended up doing. So hold the property, that was the condition. It was all stripped down, ready to go. So roll right in and do the rehab. So purchase price, $1,000. I had a couple $100 holding costs, really nothing. Repair cost, about $4,000 for a dumpster and some labor and the dump fees. Total up front, about $52,000. Sold the property for $28,136. Paid a commission of $2,800. Total expenses, or total existing, $25,336. So I gained about $20,000. So, but the reason I want to share this one is I was ready to walk by it, and I guarantee every one of you is walking by properties that you don't know the situation until you ask. So I would ask everybody to, if you see something like that, walk up about it. It's just going to take a little bit of time to do some research and find out what's going on. You got to talk to a few people. So that would be my challenge to you. So what I learned, I really waited too long to make the decision to flip it. I should have just got my research done earlier and flipped the property earlier so I could do another deal in my Roth IRA. I love doing deals in your Roth IRA. I love paying no tax. So I'd like to thank NewView IRA for helping me with the paperwork and process to get that done. Again, Jack and Anthony and Jack at Beginnings, and Ryan at Southeast Title that closed the deal for me. And that's it. Any questions?
Let's have a round of applause for Greg real quick. All right, we're going to take a couple questions. Here's one over here. Go ahead. Yeah. Did the previous owner have to pay code violations?
The previous owner, because I took the property over, they waived the code violations because I was going to rehab the property. So he had no code violations.
Yes, sir. Is it true that there's a rule in Florida that you have to have a general contractor to get these rehabs done?
Yes. To do a rehab of that nature, definitely. I don't think it's a new rule. I think it's been a rule for a long time.
I got another question over here. What did you do for the tenant?
The tenant was already out when I took the property over. The fire. Pardon me? Oh. I can't give him anything. I said thank you. They've been a long-time tenant. I treat them very well.
Any other questions for Greg? No? Then we'll get another big round of applause for Greg, please. Thank you.